Hey y'all, it's Tom again. I just haven't been on in a few days. I figured I'd say hey and give a shout out as to like what all's been going on lately. Um, really just been working a lot of overtime for my job, and for some reason all these people keep messaging me, so it's kind of a bit much at times. Um, I went to the Toys R Us last night in South Center here in Seattle. Because, everyone knows they're all closing down because of the whole bankruptcy thing and the whole mess with not actually being the toy supplier for Amazon, like the Amazon wanted, and all the other drama. Anyway, so I went there to see what all they had. And, okay, I love my Legos. And I went through that section, which it's been cleaned out. I mean, people are just tearing it up. Literally, in some cases. I've seen so many empty, torn up boxes. Um, and, there were ones I was just worried the ones I was grabbing didn't have stuff in them. So I just looked in. And thankfully, I found a few kits, a few Lego sets that had, they were sealed, taped, and of course had a bunch of stuff in it because I shook them and stuff. And I mean, there were some really big sets that were missing everything. These huge boxes. And when I brought it to someone's attention, they're like, oh well. Because, Toys R Us is closing, they're losing their jobs, all that stuff. They're selling everything. And I was like, ooh, if I didn't have any kind of a moral compass, I probably would have done the same thing. Because there were some pretty expensive sets. But, we're talking about $200-300 sets. They were just, the boxes were gone. They were empty. And it was pretty bad and sad. And I also saw a bunch of parents and stuff and kids, and everyone's running around and watching what everyone's doing and grabbing and just like, oh my god, and trying to, beat each other to all these items. Because, of course, they're having right now, I think it's 30% off, for their sale, for the going out of business sale. Anything to just get all the last of that stuff moved. But I think I had to have seen at least 15 to 20 different, big boxes of those things, of the Legos, completely just empty. Them sitting there still. So I'm thinking what happens is people are going through with big groups of people looking at things, and then someone's just tearing it open and, taking all the Legos. It's pretty sad when people get like that. It's kind of like, the whole, any kind of time some kind of a natural disaster or any kind of disaster occurs, people are just going to go ahead and just loot and pillage. And this is a kind of way of doing that, but for some reason it was Legos. I guess probably because they're so expensive at times. Anyway, yeah, it was weird. And of course, when I got to the register, they didn't have any bags, so I had to buy a reusable bag, which I didn't mind because, those are better than just the ones that you recycle anyway or throw in the garbage, what have you, however you do that stuff. I like to recycle. I try to stay as eco-friendly as possible. Yeah, I guess that's because, where I grew up and when I grew up and all that, and I have some kind of a, moral sense to me, and, try to be, watchful of my environment and try to just, take care of things around me. Anyway, so, yeah, it was a cute little bag, Finding Dory, so, I'm going to use it again because it's Disney. And it's a decent size, too. I mean, because it held 4 boxes of Legos. I mean, it's not huge. They're not huge boxes. I mean, one was a decent size. Probably like the size of my torso. And then the others were smaller ones. But they were more, they were all more mini kit friendly. Like, one of them was just a set of mini kits with their accessories for, like, beach stuff. Another one was, like, some characters in the woods, and there was like a police helicopter and a doom buggy and other fun stuff. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, if you get a chance, I'm certain that you have some kind of Toys R Us near you. I don't know where you're you're watching this from. So try to get in while things are actually there. There were a lot of other things just being attacked in that store too. I mean, there was a kid riding around in a Star Wars land speeder car, motorized. It's like, one of those Power Wheel things, but it was Star Wars and land speeder. It was pretty cool. But he almost hit me 3 times because his parents didn't care what he was doing. And he's just ramming into everything and just riding all over the store in this thing. So the people at Toys R Us are not caring at this point. They're just like, get it off the shelf so we get it out of the store and we can close up. And we're done. Because they've given up. It's sad, but they have. I heard that there was some people trying to buy Toys R Us so they can save it. I heard there was a couple guys, and they're trying to get like a GoFundMe or something. I don't know the GoFundMe page or anything, but if you feel like Toys R Us is actually worth saving, which I do because I had been doing it, going there since I was a child, to get my Thundercats and Transformers and He-Man figures and what have you. Well, then I think you should, if you can, donate to them. It's a great store. I don't know how they are as a company. Probably not that great now because, of how things ended up. But, I mean, they were going on for decades. So, I mean, they had it going. And they were a staple of my childhood. Whenever we would go, because I'm from Colville, and we would go down to Spokane and, hit Toys R Us. I think every couple weeks or so, here and there. But it was a lot of fun, and I never saw such a selection of toys before. It was crazy, and yeah, it was great. But yeah, so they're gonna be missed. I think the big thing that caused this is that their prices are a little bit high. So that might be considered if they get restarted, Maybe work a little on your prices, make them more, compatible with other people's budgets. And 2, don't be skittish of the online thing. Because I think they did their online shipping, all that stuff, their website, a little late in the game. After Amazon approached them, I heard, they wanted them to be their toy distributor. And they're like, no, we want all the money for ourselves. And I would, business speaking, I would look at it like, this is Amazon. They ship everywhere. And they are a huge company. They know what they're doing. I mean, yeah, Toys R Us was around for a long time, but look at them, they're closing now. And Amazon, I think, just did their own thing. So, if you're a business and Amazon approaches you, it's probably a good idea to jump on the bandwagon because, I mean, I would rather have part of that huge thing than nothing and have my business close. So, yeah, I guess that's about it. This is my little Toys R Us rant. And, yeah, I guess I'll talk to you guys later.